Straight ahead, a CCX News special, Making the Grade 2017, featuring standout students we've met in the past year.
That's definitely something that I want to do with my life, is just make sure that I'm there whenever people need it.
Whether it's a career in medicine, high achievement in class and athletics, or overcoming challenges.
When I found out that childhood cancer receives 4% of the entire national cancer budget, I was shocked.
They're ready to make their mark, and they are making the grade. Next on CCX News. Hello and welcome to a CCX News special, Making the Grade 2017.
It is the time of year when thoughts turn to graduation, and we look at some of the accomplishments of some of the standout students we've met in the past year.
One standout student had to overcome a challenge that many will never have to face in their lifetime. Here's Delane Cleveland.
We are working towards education for all.
In these turbulent political times, it's the perfect opportunity for students to practice their debate skills.
Have you ever tried working on a farm?
The topic today is about education.
As parents, they would want their kids to have a better future than they would.
Wayzata Junior Miranda Mead is quick on her feet to argue her point.
You want your child to have what you don't have.
It's all in a day's work for this 17-year-old from Plymouth who's involved in multiple sports and is a model student.
I love reading books and I love writing, so I kind of want to be known as like an athlete and a talented student.
Yet a little more than a year ago, she wasn't sure whether she'd be able to finish high school.
After months of extreme back pain, I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. Ewing sarcoma is an extremely rare bone cancer. You assume that if you have cancer, you're going to die. And I didn't know at the time, but Ewing sarcoma actually has a 30% chance of survival.
For the next 9 months, Miranda underwent chemotherapy and radiation treatments.
I've been with her through every step of this process.
English teacher Mark Johnston helped her keep up with her studies while she was homebound.
Even on the days when she was just ravaged, her energy was just zapped. She never gave in, she never gave up. She's just one of the strongest people I've ever known of any age.
Strong because she didn't hide from the struggle. She took it head on.
I was diagnosed with childhood cancer a few months ago and have been undergoing treatment ever since. Instead of getting a nice tan on the beach, I'm stuck with a radiation burn.
Instead, Miranda did volunteer work for the organization The Truth 365, where she appeared in PSAs and photo shoots to educate people about childhood cancer.
When I found out that childhood cancer receives 4% of the entire national cancer budget, I was shocked because there's so many different childhood cancers, and why are we only worth 4%?
Miranda's advocacy work paid off. This month, she was selected to receive the Prudential Spirit of Community Award for being one of Minnesota's top volunteers.
I'm thrilled, but I'm hardly surprised. The thing about Miranda was it didn't take this illness to bring this out in her. She's always been such a generous spirit.
A generous spirit who is now cancer-free. In the meantime, she just has to worry about finishing high school.
I think whatever walk of life she takes in her personal life and her career, she will change the world.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
And Miranda hopes to become a radiation therapist so she can help other children who have been diagnosed with cancer. Another standout student is on her way toward a career in medicine.
Even in high school, Maren Strootman is proving she can handle the pressure.
We like to test our students and give them a chance to have that pressure of the real deal.
The heat is on Maren Strootman.
She's going to start an IV on me. That's right.
The camera rolls as this Osseo senior works to put in an IV line.
Kind of goes like that.
And if you're wondering why a 17-year-old is doing this, it's all part of Maren's story in the Health Science Magnet program.
Last year we went through and learned CPR, first aid, EMR skills, and then we also took an EMT class.
Let's say you've got a person who's got an abnormal heart rhythm.
Maren is in her second year of the school's OEC program, or Opportunities in Emergency Care. She'll soon take a test to become a nationally registered EMT.
And that's one of the things that we try to push with OEC is that when you walk out, you either want to do medicine or you don't want to do medicine. And Maren, she's got all the skill sets ready to go and fly.
A career in medicine awaits this four-sport athlete and straight-A student fueled by service. Marin recently earned the Girl Scout Gold Award, the highest achievement possible, for a service project at the Eastman Nature Center.
They needed a new track display, so something that could show different animal tracks. My project was we were researching animal tracks that were found around the park, and then we were making sure that we had the right dimensions and the right lengths between strides and everything. That looks pretty good.
Now back to the results of that IV line demonstration.
There you go. Good.
And the trusting teacher willing to lend his arm.
She did a great job. Not painful. Got right where it needed to be. So I'm going to make it to her another day.
If the test is any indication, this standout student is on her way toward a career sure to help others.
That's definitely something that I want to do with my life, is just make sure that I'm there whenever people need it, and just to do my part to make other people's lives better.
A Brooklyn Center student is also starting down the path towards a medical career.
We can see the nervous system, and we tested their chemosensation with their ability to sense certain chemicals with the miraculin.
Got that? Maluba Seeley knows all about it after participating in a neuroscience research project at Carleton College. Maluba is the senior class president at Brooklyn Center and wants to become a neurosurgeon. Someday he would like to return to his birth country of Liberia as a doctor.
Armstrong senior Gabe Hostetler is making a mark for himself in television. Gabe founded Armstrong TV to showcase what was happening at his high school. But he's doing work beyond his high school, too. He edits video professionally, and he competes in national competitions. Gabe recently placed in a video contest about safe teen driving.
If your phone dings, if it rings, you're going to turn and look at it. I want it off in the car.
It wasn't that big of a deal, okay?
The message is not to text and drive, and Gabe's clip has generated more than 15,000 views online. Still ahead on Making the Grade 2017, performing at a high level in the classroom and gymnastics.
We'll show you how students are juggling a lot of interests when Making the Grade continues.
Me llamo Judith Márquez Durán y tengo 17 años.
Judith Marquez Duran introduced herself in Spanish because language is a big part of the story for this Park Center senior. She was born in southern Mexico and came to Minnesota at the age of 4. Now, 13 years later, she's also fluent in English and French. She uses her skills to interpret for Spanish-speaking soccer players each summer at the USA Cup in Blaine.
Teams that come from Argentina, Venezuela, Mexico, since they don't know a lot of English, I'll be like their interpreter or their guide, so I'll help them transition into like Minnesota, and if they have any questions, I'll be there for them.
Judith says she speaks Spanish at home because her parents don't want her to forget it. Oh, when teachers think about a leader, at Cooper High School, the president of both the Student Council and National Honor Society comes to mind.
As Shannon Slatton explains, that's not all J.L. Karandi is involved in.
There seems to be an exponent on the X, right?
Oh, right, and that's...
Okay.
Often you'll find J.L. Karandi spending her lunch hour right here.
Take that and then just replace it with X.
Crunching numbers.
Both times.
As a teaching assistant.
X squared minus 5.
In an advanced math class.
Replace each X.
J.L. is an honor student who says math isn't her favorite subject, but helping people is one of her favorite things to do.
I value our community. I think Cooper has a big range of family here.
And in the family album,
here's a student council page. I was vice president last year.
So you're really all over the yearbook.
A little bit, a little bit.
You'll see JL's picture quite a bit because she's one of the most involved students on campus.
JL is kind of that student who does absolutely everything.
In being involved, I'm able to project our community as well as have people on the outside of Cooper see how great Cooper is on the inside. So you have to reciprocate it.
She's a student who is focused and dedicated.
This is technically like a -1 right
with a bright future ahead of her.
I would like to go to the Carlson School of Management and major in marketing economics with an emphasis on international business and sports management. And I would like to become the marketing director of Nike into the future.
That's later, but right now JL is known at Cooper High School.
Hi, Jane.
For her kind spirit.
How are you?
She's kind of an example of what all students should be.
And then find the inverse.
And leading from the heart.
She loves the school, she loves the people in it, and everything she does, she kind of does out of love.
JL is also captain of the step team and was on the DECA team that went to internationals last year.
Many students mix athletics and academics at a very high level. One is Champlin Park junior Olivia Troutman. She has a passion for biology and chemistry, but she spends many hours working on her other craft, gymnastics. She has her eyes set on international competition.
So I'm like 16, so I'm considered a senior, and then you compete at nationals and classics and hope to do well, and then if you do well you make the national team, which makes you go compete for the U.S. The teachers are really flexible and they help me as much as they can, and I try to use my time management skills to get ahead of the game.
Olivia is set to attend the University of Oklahoma on a gymnastics scholarship.
A Maple Grove senior is doing more than just thinking about global challenges. Sakai Yang is one of 30 Maple Grove student leaders chosen to travel to South Africa as part of a global outreach program. He tutored students there and also helped build a community garden.
It taught us the value of appreciating what we have here, and it really inspired us to make a difference in the world.
Yang is the student body president at Maple Grove and a National Merit Scholar semifinalist. Still to come on Making the Grade, a high school counselor on the importance of preparing for life after high school.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. One thing our Standout students seem to have in common is that they are busy with many different things, whether it's student government, volunteering for a nonprofit, or even maybe doing college-level classwork. Michelle Mazanek is here now, and she's a counselor from Osseo High School, here to give us some insight on the importance of going beyond the basics, and it seems to be a theme with all of these. Why is that important, Michelle?
Going beyond the basics is really important for students who are especially planning life after high school, things like college or specific careers, I would say. If you think about a high school student, if all they did was get up every morning, eat breakfast, go to class for their 6 hours a day, go home, have a snack maybe, and then do their homework and it's time for bed, most students could be really good at school. You have to make yourself stand out a little bit. And so encouraging students to do things outside of school, whether that be sports or clubs at school, volunteer work, working with their church, it really helps to set them apart, build their resume, give them some information to really write about for their college essays. So
does it matter what you do?
Not especially. I would say to show colleges and employers that you know how to manage your time is really important. And so, if you're working a job and volunteering a little bit, you're managing your time along with school. If you're in 3 sports along with school, you're managing your time as well. So it's less important what you do, it's more important that you do.
And is this for every student? I know there's some students, I think I was one of them for a while, that where you just want to go to school and get home and try to figure out the classwork. Right. So is this for everybody?
I really would say yes.
You'd argue yes.
I would. A lot of times, students who are 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, they're not really solid on what their after high school plans are at that point. And so, working at Osseo Senior High, we really stress that we want every student ready to go to college, whether they choose to or not. And we want them to be able to get into their dream school, even if they figure out what that school is senior year. So not doing anything 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade could be detrimental. So I think, whether you're planning on going to college or pursuing a career right after high school right now, I think it's just really important that you do things other than school to help sort of figure out how to manage your time, because that's adult world, right?
So your job is to make sure that these kids are doing as much as they can be doing, even at a younger age.
Correct, absolutely. So
don't wait till you're a senior.
Don't wait till you're a senior. A lot of students come in senior year and say, okay, I'm ready to start volunteering and I'm ready, to apply to my colleges. What do you have to put on your application at this point? The sooner you can get involved in things that sort of, ignite your passion, so you can figure out what you want to do with your life after high school is really an important idea.
Very good. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle Maznik, counselor at Osseo High School. And we'll be right back right after this.
And finally, an escape that brings harmony to everything else in one student's life.
Kaisa Johansson is a school record holder in track, but it's actually the cello that changes the pace for her, as Sonia Goins found out.
If you want to know what makes Kaisa Johansson tick, all you have to do is listen.
I'm a big fan of the slow, kind of thoughtful pieces.
She's played the cello since age 5.
I think playing the cello is kind of an escape from all the busy academic and sports and all that kind of stuff.
For Kaisa, playing the cello is a nice change of pace.
It's a lot about discipline, time management, expectations, and kind of taking it upon yourself to want to improve and want to get better.
Music is the foundation for everything she does. It brings harmony to other areas of her life.
That can help you a lot in academics.
Kaisa is a top student. English and history are her favorite subjects.
I've always enjoyed learning about the past and politics, especially in the past, and how you can see that today.
And when Kaisa is not playing music and excelling in class, you'll see her blazing on the track.
12.1 seconds in the 100 meter.
She holds a school record in the 100-meter dash.
It's a lot of weight training to kind of build your base, and then a lot of work on your fast twitch muscles.
Through music and athletics and academics, Kaisa is, I think, the poster child for balance.
John Martin has coached Kaisa since freshman year.
Her unwillingness to be defeated, she's one of the most competitive kids I've ever coached.
And while Kaisa says she'll never get tired of crossing the finish line,
it's a really good feeling. It's just like a rush.
It's music that will always keep her on track. In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
And of course, there are a lot more students doing great work out there, and we were able to feature more than 24 of them in the past year.
And congratulations to all those students as many move on to the next step with graduation. Thanks so much for joining us.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.